Ladies and gentlemen, Jaheem. And he wants to know, have you ever seen anything like this? Jaheem, we're going to bring you down just a little bit. But thank you for joining us today, Jaheem. Ladies and gentlemen, Jaheem. I do need you guys to understand. I don't have a lot of time to do this video. Jaheem is going to be in the background with a bunch of other people. But for right now, he's going to be off in the down low, down tone. Ladies and gentlemen, pay attention to this. United States Government Services Administration. You guys have heard of GSA bonds? People keep telling you about the courts and bonds in the courts. GSA investment in the federal courts. Pay attention. I have a lot of idiots out there telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about when I tell you that the courts engage in commercial business activities. See, there's not supposed to be any investment in courts at all because they're supposed to be impartial. When you are investing in the court, what are you investing in? What risk are you taking? It's not supposed to be any investment in the court. They get all their funding from the Congress. So how is GSA investing in the courts? Hold on, we're not just going to talk about someone investing in the court. We're going to talk about the courts investing. Look at that. Public Building Service for General Service Administration before the Committee on the Judiciary, Subcommittee on the Courts, Intellectual Property, and Internet. United States Senate, 2014. Why is GSA investing in the courts? They have no business investing in the courts. The courts need money. They go to Congress. That's the thing. Pay attention. A close partnership with the Administrative Office of the Courts to meet the nationwide space needs of the judiciary in a cost-effective manner as possible. Now, hold on. We got GSA investing in the courts. You want to find this, ladies and gentlemen? Just all you got to do is go GSA investment in the federal courts. That's how you get to this page. Okay, and it's an official website of the United States government. Doesn't matter if you don't need to prove that they sit up here and pay into the system, that they involve in commercial business activity. Magistrate Judge Jacqueline Scott Corley of the United States District Court, and her investment of $500,000 to $900,000. See, the court's decision strikes down. Interesting, ain't it? The judges are getting involved in commercial business. Thrift savings plan, federal judiciary, UnitedStates.gov, the official website of their so-called judicial so-called branch of government. Okay, let's go here. This is another official website of the United States government. Thrift plans is a savings and investment plan designed to provide retirement income. The TSP offers federal judiciary employees the same type of savings and tax benefits that many private corporations offer their employees. Do you guys understand that government is not supposed to be investing your money? They're not allowed to gamble. You guys do understand that. The government cannot take your money and invest your money in anything. They don't have a right. Retirement programs for government. Pay attention, people. The retirement program for government employees is the government. It is not private corporations. They're government employees. They do that. That's the way it's supposed to be. They do that for what reason? Anybody got a reason why they would do that? Why the courts would sit up there and make it mandatory that they get their funding from private corporations? Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, wait. When a defendant is convicted, wait, who wrote this right here? This United States court, pay attention. When a defendant is convicted of a crime in a federal court, he or she owes many debts to society. In addition to likely prison time, the offendant may be required to pay. Then investments of court registry funds. Investment of court registry funds. Title 28, the Judiciary Code, 2045. Ladies and gentlemen, I just put this in here today because this is the part of the video that's the important part that I'm gonna have to get off because I got work to do. I got work to do. Anyway, that's Joss Stone in the background, and she's talking about a head turner. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, pay attention. The depositing party must deliver to the clerk a copy of the order permitting the deposit, investing and withdrawing funds, money paid into the court under this rule. That's where we were talking to people some time ago about depositing into the court. Okay, but pay attention. Pay attention. This trial court's quarterly investment report provides financial, financial, financial. This California courts.gov. Ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and explain to you. This document right here does me a lot of good because this is for California. This is me being able to prove that they engage. This is Judicial Council, the administrative office of the court. See, they're no longer called the administrative office of the court. They just changed their name to Judicial Council. You'll find that in many states. But this is what I need because we're about to have some fun. You see, what I did is I went and decided I'm tired of playing games with them. Uh, Give me 1 second. I didn't. Yeah, I did put the A there. That's just my title for it. Okay. I do this way for a reason. Let's do this. And these are trial courts. So this lets you know that this is dealing with criminal, even though it's not going to come out straight out and say criminal. It's going to talk about criminal and civil. Watch this executive summary. This trial court's quarterly investment report provides the financial results for the funds invested in the administrative office of the courts on behalf of the trial courts as part of the judicial branch treasury program. The report is to submit under the resolution regarding investment activities for the trial courts, approved by the Judicial Council on February 17, 2004. The report covers the period, blah, blah, blah. Pay attention. On February 2004, the Judicial Council approved several resolutions on investment activities for the trial courts. Ladies and gentlemen, you know the rule. It is not, we were referring to it as the Clearfield Doctrine. It is not the Clearfield Doctrine. Okay, the Clearfield Doctrine is better yet said this way, that any time a government agency is engaged in commercial business, they do not necessarily retain, pay attention, necessarily retain the sovereignty of the state. Okay? Judges own stocks and firms. No, we don't care about the judges own and earning stocks, foxes and stocks and all of that stuff. Okay, let me let me. This is Mississippi court that we're. This is a misspelled word, and I got to take care of that. I got a lot of work to do. Okay, I got a lot of work to do, so I won't be able to stay on this video. Oh, but we're gonna be talking about some heat wave, and they talking about some boogies. Y'all know about boogies? I don't know nothing about no boogies. I don't even know what a boogie is, but apparently they're having some nights. Okay, I told y'all we'll take you back. Let me tell you guys what we're getting ready to do so that you guys will understand, so that you'll get it. As a matter of fact, let's take this off pause because I want to have some movement in the background. Uh-oh, it ain't gonna give me it right now. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for everyone who has an arbitration and they have had their arbitration denied as a result of someone claiming that the parties weren't served. And we're talking about the sitcom arbitrations as a result of them claiming that the parties weren't served and that sitcom wasn't a valid arbitration association. Now they use the word wasn't a what appears to be a valid arbitration association. They will use the word appears. They will do that specifically. The reason why you will hear them use the word appear because they're not actually saying they're not a valid arbitration association. If you've had an arbitration award denied by a court where the court said that the other party had the right to come in and ask for a motion to vacate, and along with the motion to vacate, they ask for sanctions and they ask for other things. If they did anything other than ask for a motion to vacate, then it's a violation of the Federal Arbitration Act. And the Supreme Court has ruled in Archer versus Henry Schein that they must interpret the act as written. The act as written does not allow them to enter sanctions. Now, the Supreme Court will say, well, if they do find that the arbitrator did this, that, and the other, then that's a separate proceeding. That's a civil proceeding, because that means that the arbitrator now has the right to defend themselves and they have the right to a trial. So that's a separate proceeding. And if it's they have to defend themselves, and if it's a right to a criminal trial, then they definitely have a different proceeding. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be filing a lawsuit, and we're going after the courts, and we are going to file it against the judges, and we have that right because they engage in commercial business activities. And so long as the courts engage in commercial business activities, pay attention. So long as the courts engage in commercial business activity, they lose any and all claims to sovereignty. Let's show you this so that you'll see where the rule comes from. The rule predates, pay attention, it predates the United States being formed as a country. Well, the United States is not a country. Got to get that clear. The United States is a group of federations, federal states that have come together and formed a union in order to form a more perfect union. They are federal unions. That's why it was called the Articles of Confederation. Okay. I said confederation, didn't I? There you go. All right, let's do this. Planters, we have BANK. I think it's US Bank. Come on now. My computer is moving slow. BPLANTERS. Uh-oh. BA. Uh-oh. I did not pick no Hupsky. I have no idea how that junk got there. Get out of here. Going right back here. And ladies and gentlemen, there you go. The Bank of the United States versus Planters Bank of Georgia. That's the one I'm looking for right here. I messed up. Bank of US versus Planters Bank. Now I want y'all to pay attention. 1824. Okay. This was the general rule way back in 1824. 1824. You know what 1824 is? 1824 is less than 50 years after they had their revolution and 1776 book. Okay, now watch this. Control F, and we're gonna do WAIVE. Nah, yeah, waives all privileges to the character. Okay, we can use that one. No, we don't want waves. Let's do abandon. Nope, abandons. Let's see. Let's see. There are 15 of them in here. I'm gonna see if we can get to the right one. Okay, I don't need those any, so we can get past them. Any, no, we don't care about that. Any, see, I don't know if this one says ordinary corporation, and I should have just put in corporation. No, that ain't it. Let's see. Business. Let's put commercial business. No, that ain't it either. Okay, you guys got to hold on while I find this. Give me a second. Ladies and gentlemen, we have some Shana Buku Yeah by my staple singers. And if y'all don't know nothing about my staple singers, they going to let y'all know because they in my background and they just going to let y'all know. Okay, Shana Boom Boom Yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you've never heard this song, then you ain't who you say you is as far as being into the know. Okay, like I said, if you don't know Shauna Boom Boom, y'all know the staple singers, Mavis and Pops. Y'all know who I'm talking about. All right, pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. This is not the same case as the similar case. When the United States enters into commercial business, it abandons its sovereign capacity voluntarily. By entering into commercial business, it automatically says, hey, I want to deal with commercial business, so I'm going to abandon sovereignty and I'm just going to do it like a regular corporation because I got sovereignty rights. And I also have them citizen rights. So they treat it like corporations. Just like corporations want to have rights too, well, the United States gets to do that. It says, therefore, though it absolutely owns the Panama Railroad Company, it is the only one profiting and losing by the railroad company's activities, and a conspiracy to defraud the railroad company is not a conspiracy to defraud the United States. Denounced by Penal Code, March 4th, 1909. Okay, these are the statutes that been put in place to let you guys know. Now, these are the statutes for certain things, but we want y'all to go with 37, 35 stat, 1096. I want y'all to go with those stats, okay? Now, that's just one, okay? Now, hold on. Let's do that again. Let's do CO commercial, and here it is again. There's United States versus planners. Okay, that's what I was looking for before, but it didn't take me to the commercial business. See, this is a weak case, y'all. Bank of the United States versus Planners Bank, 1824. Now, this was about 1912, 1904. I forgot the exact number of that Panama case. It was the Panama Railroad. Okay, remember when the United States was in Panama while everybody in Panama speaks English? Because the United States went over there because they wanted to have control. Well, we have a wheat case. Yeah, man, I had so much wheat that I got some barley yesterday because I got tired of the wheat. Wheat and barley? Ah, that sounds so funny. Okay, hold on. We got Control F. I did Control C. Apologize. Control F is what we need. We got commercial. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it says it's not here. Okay, the circumstance that the state is a member of a private corporation. The circumstances that a state is a member of a private corporation will not give this court original jurisdiction for suits where the corporation is a party or oust the other party. Sorry, that was my shana nana buku, yeah. Okay, I have a meeting in a couple of minutes, and that's why I was pausing because the meeting. Hey, we're gonna do some Luther, y'all. Y'all want to go back to Luther for a moment because he wants to tell y'all about the nouns and the heres, and he just wants y'all to understand just one look. One look is all it takes. All right, Luther, let them know. There you go, Luther. That's Luther Vandross, ladies and gentlemen, the late great Luther Vandross. All right, we're gonna turn Luther down. Oh, I turned him up. Hit the wrong button. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. All right. You notice that some of the wording is off, and that's only because of how this was brought to this particular page. I'm going to minimize it just a little bit so I can scroll through. We don't care about those questions. We don't care about that. And I don't think, you know what? I think that's the problem. We're probably looking at something other than the actual case. Okay, let's see. Well, anyway, we do know that it says the commercial business stuff. Okay, when they enter into commercial business, we have the information that the federal courts enter into commercial business. Ladies and gentlemen, what we're doing in the lawsuit that we're bringing, and we will get this lawsuit through one way or the other. Okay, I can guarantee you, we will get this lawsuit through one way or the other. We're gonna go with seven. I just need to show you guys the Seventh Amendment because a lot of people, it's Salas versus United States. That was that case. Okay. Now we're waiting for Google to pull up, but this was the first case. So this one refers to, and this was 1916. That case was less than 100 years after Planters. But you notice that in that 100 years, it hadn't changed. Ladies and gentlemen, when the Clearfield case was happening in the 1940s, it still hadn't changed. They made the very same statement in the Clearfield Doctrine, okay? But the Clearfield Doctrine was about the corporation that is an agency or a subcorporation of the United States, how they do not carry the mantles of sovereign, even though they might carry the name United States. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Seventh Amendment. I want y'all to pay attention. Luther, help them because they don't understand. In a suit at common law, people keep saying they've abolished common law. They cannot abolish common law because that means they would have to get rid of the Seventh Amendment. The Seventh Amendment is a common law suit. The Bill of Rights are common law rights. If you do not believe me, go back and look at each Bill of Rights and see that they're common law rights. The Bill of Rights is common law. The Constitution is common law. After the 10th Amendment, those are by Congress. Those are those laws enacted by Congress. They're legislative laws. If you don't believe me, go back and look at each one of them. They're regulatory laws. They regulate how the president is chosen, how people vote, how they don't vote, who can and cannot be in involuntary servitude, who can and cannot be a United States citizen. But go back and look at the first 10 amendments. It doesn't tell you who can and cannot have due process. It says all persons. Doesn't matter if they're a citizen or not. The first 10 amendments does not focus on citizenship. And they would not have focused on citizenship back then. Why? Because nobody was a citizen back then. They just founded the stupid country. Oh, well, the group of nations. But nobody was a citizen. Everybody was from a foreign place for the most part. Now, some people, yes, many of them were born because it'd been here for almost 100 years. 1692, that idiot so-called sailed the ocean blue. That's the song. Okay, but up until that point, many of those businessmen who were coming over here and doing business, they were doing business with Europe. They were doing business with that stupid king. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be bringing a lawsuit, and we are bringing this lawsuit. We're going to take our time with this lawsuit. We're not going to do like we did to the Fraud of Homeowners of America. Ladies and gentlemen, the Fraud of Homeowners of America lawsuit was allowed to go exactly the way it went. You see, I needed to prove that there was a controversy. Okay, I needed, this is called Here We Go Again. Okay, y'all should know this song. I needed to prove that there was a controversy. Once I proved there was a controversy, right after I did that, I was getting ready to go to an appeal because they didn't even let us get into court with that lawsuit. They took our money and moved on. Literally, the court took our money and moved on. I haven't forgotten about that. That's why we did the arbitration. That is associated with arbitration. Everything is associated with arbitration. We're going straight for the arbitration. We're going into the court with arbitration. I can't tell you what court we're going into just yet because I know what court. I just don't want to give them a heads up just yet. Okay? But just to let you guys know, that's where we're headed. If individuals want to be a part of this lawsuit, after we get it filed, then you can come in as a class, as aggrieved parties, as individuals who've been damaged by the lack of adherence and the want you to let you guys see exactly what we know. JUDICIALHOSTILITY. I should have put towards arbitration, but I'll put towards arbitration once we get Google to pop up. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a documented judicial hostility towards arbitration. The rise in judicial hostility towards arbitration. This is why you guys are having a problem. It is not because of sitcom, Arbitration Association. It isn't because of me. It's the judges have always hated arbitration because it takes their power away. And in this instance, these judges are sitting up here challenging the contract when the language of these contracts is taken from other contracts because that's what I do. Okay. Now, mind you, we do that on purpose so that they can't say that it is gobbledygook, which is what one judge said. Said it was gobbledygook. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you something that many of you were told and you didn't pay attention to. The contract templates that we put online, we purposely put those contract templates online, and you know what we did? When we put those contract templates online, we purposely left the mistakes in the document. I did that because contracts are serious business. If you're going to mess with a contract, you pay attention. need to know what's in your contract. That's the whole point. That's what the whole argument is about. That they're doing these contracts and they're not telling us anything. They're just doing these contracts. Well, you need to know what's in the contract. And because you need to know what's in the contract, pay attention. That means that you got work to do. You got some correction, some spelling and every errors that you got to take care of. Well, this one, the current contracts for the new SAT packs, the Omega and the Prime SAT packs, you won't have to do that. We're getting rid of all of the typos purposely. Many of them were on purpose because we wanted to have an idea of who actually did the work. I gotta close this, sorry. I tried to close it earlier, but it didn't close. All right, so we got rid of all that. So they're redone, and every now the wind you're hearing is it's hot today. So the wind, I need that air conditioning. This is a natural air conditioning for this area, and today is just as hot as it has been. So I know it's 100 degrees. Ain't supposed to be 100 degrees, but it's 100 degrees, y'all. And so I need this air. All right. 2 days ago, it was so cold that it left me feeling horrible because I have a problem with cold and heat. And so we've been having that spring thing going on. The hot afternoons, the cold mornings, cold evenings. I'm having a hard time with that because I can't adjust to the temperature. After the operation that I had where my temperature got so high, well, that regulator, I can't replace it. They stopped making them. I've been to every single shop to get one, and they all tell me they can't even manufacture one. This thing was so complicatedly made. That's right, I said complicatedly. Okay? Well, I actually say catedly. But that's my word. Y'all leave it alone. It's mine! Okay. So the rise in judicial hostility, revisiting Hall Street and Associates. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys must understand that we rely heavily on Hall Street and Associates. It is a very, very good case. And those of you who have arbitrations, do me a favor. You see the title of this document. Gotta get you back down. The rise in judicial hostility to arbitration. Okay, look for this document and read the case law, everyone, because that's for you. Okay, this document is for your benefit. Okay, we have opt-in agreements. See, that's right there, enforceability of opt-in agreements. That's what we're doing. How do they opt in? By their conduct, by doing something the contract says they should do, and they have an obligation. This is Hall Street and Associates versus Mattel. Okay, Hall Street and Associates, Hall Street and Associates. That's what this is focusing on. So what I'm asking is that those of you who have arbitrations, who were supposed to do your research, okay, this is what I'm asking you to do. Go over documents like this so you can find out what's going on. Go over the Federal Arbitration Act, Section 1, 2, what is it? Section 1, 2, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 16. Those are the ones you need to focus on. Okay, that's your pappies and your daddies and that's the bad babies. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this video was designed to show you that the courts do engage in commercial business activity, which is why we can engage in commercial business with them with the incarceration contracts. This will help the people with incarceration contracts as well as everyone else who have the infinite state contracts. Now remember, you still have your tax credits. That's automatic. After the first year, after your arbitration award was issued, or the first year after the contract was entered into between the parties and there was a default, the very next January 1st, from the date that that default happened, is your carry forward credits. There's nobody that can argue that. The IRS does not have any authority to make a determination as to whether an arbitration contract is valid or not. And even if the court ruled that the contract, the arbitration clause, they can't rule on a contract. It's either one or the other. See, the court has no jurisdiction. If it has an arbitration clause, they have no jurisdiction for ruling whether or not the arbitration clause is valid. They can rule whether or not the contract is valid. Some of you will think that they're one and the same thing. If the arbitration is part of the contract, then if they rule the contract is invalid, they're ruling the arbitration clause is invalid. No, that's called the rule of severability. They're severability. They're separate from each other. They're not the same. So one does not equate to the other. If one is deemed unconstitutional, the other one is not deemed unconstitutional. It is a separate ruling. However, if the contract, I say constitutional lawful, if the contract specifically has an arbitration clause, if it has an arbitration clause where the arbitration clause, this is aloe black, everyone. If the arbitration clause says that the arbitrator has exclusive jurisdiction, then that's it. Then the court can only review the arbitration clause. Now let's do this. I'm gonna do this real quick to let you guys know I know what I'm talking about. When the Supreme Court granted certiorari in the Hall Street and Associates, commenters expected the court to resolve the split among the federal circuits regarding the validity and enforceability of opt-in agreements. Since the 1990s, these agreements have become a means through which contracting parties could obtain enhanced judicial supervision of arbitration awards by providing for judicial review of the merits of arbitration rulings. While commentators got a resolution on the split, they received a great deal more than they had been promised or they bargained for. In effect, the court concluded that statutory framework of enforcement applied to a matter, as a matter of law, and therefore was solely controlled by the circumstances of enforcement of the award itself. Okay, I know what it's gonna say. I haven't read this before. This is not one of the documents that I've gone over. So the framework was not merely a regulatory alternative to provide rules for enforcement. When a contract was silent, the statutory framework provided the governing law and could not be modified by the contract. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, they're basically saying the contract could not modify the governing law. Actually, not true, but hey, not my problem. The Supreme Court made that decision. Okay, no problem. But I'm not going off of this. See, according to the majority opinion, the governing statute provided expedited judicial review to confirm, vacate, or modify arbitration awards and could not be supplemented by contract. So I definitely will have to go back and read this because I think I see where it's going. Okay. Well, either way, this is for you guys. Read over it, see what you get. Okay. The information will prove beneficial. I have a consult in 15 minutes, so I will have to get off of this microphone and this computer and this thing and say to you guys, I hope that the information about the federal courts engaging in commercial activity, don't just stop with what I showed you, ladies and gentlemen. Don't just stop with the information that I just showed you. I want you to do the research. Prove it, prove it, prove it, prove it, prove it. Oh no, I ain't playing that. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Hold on. This is Luther Vandross and Queen Latifah. I ain't never heard this, y'all. Okay, I just don't like the title. Okay, the title is Hit It Again. That Queen Latifah, I don't know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna let Luther and Janet and me, we're gonna go on about our business. We're gonna let you guys take the information. You guys have the thing about the judiciary, about how they're engaging in commercial business activity, how they're engaging in trades. Oh, that's a different thing that I was looking up. So it's this one right here. They're engaging in trading on the market. They're engaging in investing. We showed you a video previously, and I forgot exactly what part of the court does the investment in security stocks and trades, but we showed you guys that as well. Ladies and gentlemen, you now have the foundation for proving that each one of your courts, you saw how I downloaded the document for California, how they engage in commercial business activity. Well, that's how I document everything. It's because of that. All right, look, I gotta go. I got some things I have to do to get prepared for this one. You guys take care. I hope this information is beneficial. I know for me it will be very beneficial because that's what I'm always highlighting is the commercial business activities. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gents, me, Luther, Latifah, we're gonna take on out of here. My hope is that y'all have a good day, y'all have a good night, and take care of yourselves, okay? All right, gotta go.